drive by Lee. This ball's back and it's going to go. Tie game! A couple of game-tying home runs today. Soriano. Drive by Lee. This ball's back and it's going to go. Tie game! A couple of... back and it's going to go! Tie game! A couple of game-time home runs today. Soriano.
The second baseman, number 17, Chris Getz.
I don't think he was scored upon. He made the club as a non-roster player. Only pitched in a handful of games before getting sent back down to AAA, but boy, did he have a nice spring.
Back up the middle for Polanco on the backhand. Off balance. He is safe at first base. Getz beats it out and gets an infield single.
Getz has got some speed. And the majority of the players on the White Sox roster do not beat this out, but Getz is one that will. Polanco ranging far to his right, throws off balance, but could not get enough on the throw to get the speed he gets. Nice stretch by Cabrera as well.
Third hit of the game for the White Sox. That'll bring up Gordon Beckham.
Getz is one of the White Sox that will try to steal a base. He has 13 this year.
White Sox team has a core that is a little bit older in Dye, Tomey, and Konerko, but they've sprinkled in some youth now with Getz and Beckham. And the runner goes, and it's hit the other way. Perfectly hit and run single. Getz is on his way to third. He's in standing up, and Chicago has something going now here in the second. After the home run by Tomey, they have runners at first and third.
You will see the majority of the White Sox swing early and also swing often because of the fact that Bonine throws so many strikes. And Getz took a look in. He saw exactly where the ball was placed in between first and second. He knew that Maglio was not going to throw him out at third.
Here's Dwayne Wise. 4 hits for Chicago. Wise hitting just .196. It was popped up foul. Back out of play. So Wise already has made a difference with his glove. Now trying to do the same with his bat. 1 for 5 in the first game in this doubleheader. Wise was batting leadoff in game 1 and had a double in 5 at bats. Ooh, he almost nicked him.
Not a bad pitch by Bonine. Eddie's stepfather, Charlie, is here, and he has 2 seats. He's sitting in one, and you see the jersey number 43 in the chair next to him. That's in honor of Eddie's mom, Danelle, who passed away earlier this year.
Runner going, and out at second base is Beckham.
I talked to him coming into the ballpark today, and he said it's going to be tough for him to watch this game alone. The first time he's watched a game without a big league game without Danelle by his side. But Eddie Bonine's a tremendous young man, and our thoughts and prayers go out to that entire family.
And it would be nice if Eddie Bonine could get a victory here tonight. Got some help there from the catcher Dusty Ryan, who threw the runner out at second base. And there's a pop-up. Should get him out of the inning if it stays in play, but it doesn't. One roll back.
I talked to Eddie Bonine in spring training, and he told me the story about his mom, and he knew that she was dying of cancer. And he and his mom drove from Arizona all the way down to Florida to Lakeland in spring. And they spent 3 great days together, and Eddie said that probably the best 3 days that he'd ever spent in his life, driving across country with his mom, just the 2 of them.
Well, she passed away, Donnell did, on June 9th. And Eddie has had to pitch with a heavy heart all season long, really. Here's the 1-2 pitch. 2-2 now on Dwayne Wise. One run in on the home run by Tomey. Bonine trying to keep the damage to a minimum here. And that's grounded foul. Just outside of the bag at third. Almost hit the runner down the line. Gets 2-2 the count remains.
Gerald Laird, of course, not catching the nightcap here tonight, but Dusty Ryan doing his best Gerald Laird impersonation. Gunning down Beckham at second. He's got a powerful throwing arm, does Dusty Ryan. Got a big frame behind that dish, too. 6 feet 5 inches.
Fouled away.
And a lot of times it's a little difficult for guys that big to shift their feet and their weight to get in a position to throw. But he's got a tremendous throwing arm. There's G Money. He likes that nickname, too.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. And he went around, it looked like. Yes! Strike 3 called. Mark Wegner down at third base. So Bonine pitches through a lot of the trouble. A little help from Ryan. It's 1-0 Chicago. Here, nightcap for the doubleheader. Tigers won the opener today, 5-1 behind Justin Verlander. And now Miguel Cabrera leads it off in the second, facing Bartolo Colon. It'll be Cabrera, Guillen, and then Marcus Thames. Miguel in the opener was 1 for 4, had a double. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Had a hustling double. Then a nice base running play, tagging up on a shallow fly ball to center field to get himself into the third with less than 2 outs.
That's in the air to shallow right. Jermaine Dye will run it down. 1 gone.
Let's set the rest of the defense behind Colon. You know, Dye's in right. It's presented by Honda Bloomfield. Podsednik in left field could arguably be the MVP of this White Sox team first 3 months of the year. That's how good he has been. You got Beckham at third, Ramirez at short, Getz, Konerko on the right side of the infield, and Ramon Castro behind the plate, who's coming off catching and calling a perfect game yesterday for Mark Burley.
Had Sednick in his second tour of duty with the Chicago White Sox.
He has been money for them in that leadoff spot.
Funny how things work out in baseball. Released by one team in April, picked up by your old employer, and now he's a star again.
Well, it also helps to have a general manager that knew what kind of game you played and kind of knew which direction your club was going. Back to that speed game. Podsednik brings some speed.
Carlos Guillen, the DH, again here in game 2. Batting with 1 out. Colon missing, running the count to 2-1.
Ramon Castro caught Mark Burley yesterday for the very first time in his career. And Burley threw every pitch that he called, pinpoint control, and he threw a perfect game.
And apparently it was the first time a perfect game was thrown where the battery had never worked with each other before.
Burley said that Castro did not call a lot of cut fastballs, which is Burley's signature pitch, but he felt like they could exploit the over-aggressiveness of the Tampa Bay Rays with lots of changeups and breaking balls, and boy, did they exploit that weakness. Uh-oh.
That's belted high in the air to right field, way back, die, turns, goodbye!
Welcome back, Carlito.
Tied at 1 on the first home run by Carlos Guillen.
That's why Jim was kind of giddy this morning. And standing around the batting cage, he was getting Carlos Guillen back, who was swinging the bat very well from the left side in those rehab at-bats that he had in the minor leagues. And Carlos knew it was gone. He hit it, a little back flip and a little skip to the loo.
7th RBI this year for Guillen. That'll bring up Marcus Thames, who pops up the first pitch. Konerko at first base. 2 gone. Each side with a long ball. Tomey for Chicago, and Guillen hits his first of the year for the Tigers. They'll bring up Brandon Inge.
He crushed that thing. Absolutely crushed it.
He was 4 for 7 in Toledo before coming up. Inge fouls it away.
I like that move this morning, though. The ball club coming off 4 losses in the last 5 games where they only scored 1 run. And they had a little bit more pep in their step today, knowing they were getting Carlos back. They didn't know which Carlos Guillen they were going to get, but just the fact that they were getting him back.
It's lofted to left field. Scott Podsednik coming on, and he'll make the running play to retire the side. Not before the Tigers tie it up. They play long ball themselves. Carlos Guillen, a solo shot, 1-1.
All right, guys, she's there, ready to roll. Back in about 20. Seconds.
Fantasy 411 returns with Corey Schwartz and Corey Gottlieb on home plate XM 175.
The eyes of the Tigers hopefully back. They took the opening game of the doubleheader today 5-1. They have just come back to tie this one up now at 1, and the home run by Carlos Guillen. Eddie Bonine back at the hill facing Ramon Castro. He's the number 9 hitter, the catcher for Chicago. Then Podsednik and Ramirez. Bonine firing one in the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes on Castro, batting just $156. A couple of homers this year in a Chicago uniform. The 1-0. White Sox got Castro from the Mets in the month of May. That is golf to left field. It's down, a base hit. Thames over to play it on 1 hop. Castro has a leadoff single. White Sox piling up the hits now. That is their 5th of the game. Today's game is available in crystal clear high definition on Fox Sports Detroit. Sponsored by Comcast.
Marcus Thames getting his first start in left field since June 28th. So it's been a while since Marcus has been out there. He's been out there 7 times. He's been the designated hitter in Jim Leyland's lineup 31 times.
Here is Podsednik. Little bouncing ball hit to the shortstop. There's one. Need a quick relay. It's not in time. Podsednik runs too well. Well, he beats it out. He's aboard in the fielder's choice. Not sure the Tigers could have turned that any quicker.
One thing Podsednik has started to do on occasion is he kind of runs toward the pitcher. He starts late. Now watch him. He kind of runs up in the batter's box, and by him running up, that gives him a couple of extra steps down toward first base, which makes it nearly impossible for them to turn it over. I don't know when he started doing that, but he's been doing a lot of that. Sometimes he'll just try to serve it over the third baseman's head. Sometimes he'll try to chop it to the shortstop. But it works for him. He's having a great year for the White Sox.
Here's Alexi Ramirez.
Have you ever seen a hitter do that?
Ichiro, I guess, is the only other guy that does that a little bit, although he's not running up to the ball. He just has his feet moving.
Yeah.
That's something you see
old school baseball
in a softball game.
That's old school. Guys moving in the batter's box.
Ramirez had a single back in the first, his first hit of the doubleheader. Second in the voting last year in Rookie of the Year in the American League. Evan Longoria was the winner, and deservedly so, although Ramirez had a very nice season.
He got off to a miserable start this year, but he settled in nicely.
Nothing doing that time, and Podsednik not going anywhere. Well, in the month of April, Ramirez was really struggling. So much so that he wasn't playing.
Look at Coxie down there, number 8. He is a beauty.
214 in the month of April. Then he got the 281 in May, 283 in June, and July has been even better.
Yep, continues to get better.
Cox down at third base, one of the more animated third base coaches.
Has fun directing traffic. You saw him motion with a curveball there to Podsednik to read it. If you see the curveball down, get a good jump. As a base runner, it helps when you have coaches that are in the game like that.
Look out, there goes the bat. He just got a piece of it to foul it off. And so Cox now will play bat retriever. Ramirez got the breaking ball and basically stayed alive by firing the bat at it. Alexi, 47 RBIs this year. Very wiry build. He has that wiry power. 11 home runs. Basically on the pace that he established last year in terms of home runs. Quick throw and the runner back.
Alexi Ramirez put himself on the map in 2006, the spring of '06, playing for the Cuban national team in the World Baseball Classic. And Kenny Williams, the general manager, wasted a little time after that, figuring out a way to get him in a White Sox uniform.
But Ramirez, the one thing he has done is walk a little bit more this year. In fact, Alexi last year didn't walk a whole lot. But his walk numbers are up. And who knows, maybe that's one of the reasons why his batting average has been on a rise since the first month of the year. 29 walks, or 9 more than the total he had all of last year. It's not a lot of walks, but still it's improvement. Meanwhile, Podsednik down there has 15 steals, but he's been caught 7 times this year.
It's not a good ratio.
He's got a big lead. Ooh, nice quick tag there by Cabrera. Just a little bit tardy though.
This throws down. They may get him.
Tigers were the ones stealing bases in the first game. They swiped 3 en route to the 5-1 win. There goes the runner, and a ground ball hit to third. Inge has 1 play. 2 gone.
Hey fans, Saturday afternoons were made for baseball, and this week the Tigers are featured when they host the White Sox in Game 3 of this series. Coverage of Fox Saturday Baseball begins tomorrow at 4 p.m. on your local Fox station.
Here's Jermaine Dye with 2 outs.
He's a dangerous hitter in this situation. Dangerous hitter. Really a dangerous hitter every time he's standing in that batter's box. And one of your more underrated players in the game of baseball.
He's done a lot of damage against the Tigers over the years. 26 career home runs against Detroit pitching. Fouled it away, 0-1.
He's hit 55 home runs since the beginning of 2008. Only Cabrera in the American League has hit more than Dye. Cabrera has 56.
Sox in that first game were just 1 for 8 with men in scoring position. They have a man in scoring position here with 2 outs. In a 1-1 ball game, each team with a solo home run in the second.
Jermaine Dye kind of sitting in a real nice spot in the batting order for the White Sox, right ahead of Jim Thome, which means you're always going to get something good to hit when runners are in scoring position.
Bonine missing inside 1-1. Jermaine's career began back in 1996 when he broke in with the Atlanta Braves. And then he spent a good portion of his career in Kansas City the next few years, put up some big numbers with the Royals. Trying to break the tie here in the third. 1-2.
Good breaking ball there by Eddie Bonine, especially when you follow that pitch up with after throwing inside on the previous pitch on a good 2-seam fastball. The key was the location. It was down.
Guy hit into a double play back in the first inning, trying to pick up Podsednik off the bag at second. Another breaking ball. This one dips low, and Dye lets it go by. 2-2. Back here earlier this season at Comerica Park, Jermaine hit his 300th career home run. Thome waiting on deck. Fastball, and he just missed it inside. 3-2.
I'd go right back in there with the same pitch. It's the last pitch Dye's looking for. But you have to have confidence to do so if you're Eddie Bonine.
Wasted one back of the screen. 3-2 the count stays on Jermaine Dye. Inning led off with a single by Castro. Podsednik forced him. He's at second base now with 2 outs. Tigers going for the sweep. Their last sweep of an opponent here at home was 0-2, and it was these White Sox. Three-two pitch again. It's swung on and belted way back into left field. No doubt about this one. It's gone.
Goodness gracious.
Jermaine Dye has hit his 22nd of the year and his 27th career against Detroit. Seen some long home runs already in this game by both sides.
That was a loud one, too. That sounded like it was a seam. It was a 2-seam fastball that stayed up. He did not get it inside far enough, and he absolutely crushed it.
So the White Sox go up 3-1 on the home run by Jermaine Dye. And here is Jim Thome, who played long ball his last time up. That home run by Dye gives him 16 here at Comerica Park, the most by any opponent in this ballpark. He has now surpassed Joe Creedy, who hit 15 when he was a member of the White Sox here at Comerica. 1 ball, 1 strike on Thome. Strike call. Thome not so sure as he walks out of the box.
Take one more look at this swing by Dye. I want you to focus on the hip area. He's got golfer's hips. Take a look at how he rotates into this baseball with his hips. He can hit a golf ball about 350 yards as well. He's got tremendous, tremendous power that comes from his hips. It's where he gets all his power.
Breaking ball got him. Thome is out of there for strike 3. Second strikeout for Bo now. Damage done, though. The home run by Dye. The 2-run homer by Jermaine Dye is the difference. Carlos Guillen homered for the Tigers. Santiago followed by Ryan, and then Granderson here in the Tigers' third. Tigers have 1 hit. That's the home run. And the White Sox have 6 hits here in the nightcap. Bartolo Colon back home and a wave and a miss. 1-1. Colon signed as a free agent in January. He's 36 years old. A lot of his early success with the Cleveland Indians. Here's a bunt, but right back to the mound. One away. It's going to bring up the catcher, number 9 hitter, Dusty Ryan. Meanwhile, some teaching going on in the Tigers dugout. Rick Knapp, Eddie Bonai. 2 home run balls tonight for the White Sox, building their 3-1 lead. Ryan is 2 for 16 offensively here at the big league level. And the Tigers had Dane Sardina up here for most of the first half, but Dane just was not getting it done offensively, so Ryan was given an opportunity. But Dusty really hasn't played a whole lot and hasn't gotten too many reps, at least at the plate. And I guess all you can do between starts is to take as much batting practice, as much extra work as you can to be sharp.
Well, you got to focus on the pitching staff. Anything you give them offensively is a bonus. It's tough to hit at this level, especially when you're playing once a week.
The 1-1 pitch.
But you can keep your game calling skills sharp. That's for sure.
1-2 on Dusty. Really got an extended look. Late last year, the Tigers took a good long look at him. They felt that he needed to improve his catching skills. Throwing. The 1-2 missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ryan had 7 homers, 23 RBIs at AAA prior to the call-up, but down he goes. The strikeout is out, number 2. First strikeout for Cologne. Here's a reminder to see the Tigers play the Orioles August 3rd through the 6th. You can take advantage of the August double play. Get 2 upper box tickets for only $29 or 2 lower box seats for just $49. It's a savings of $15. Call 866-66-TIGER. Check it out online as well at tigers.com. The August double play. Here's Granderson. Strike 1 to the outer edge to Curtis, who was absolutely robbed in the first inning. Cologne's 0-1. Heading back toward the seats, out of play.
Wise playing a little shallower this time around than he was back in the first when he made this sensational catch. He got on his horse, he took a direct route, and made a big-time play. That's got to be scary for Wise, because earlier in the year here at Comerica Park, I believe it was here at Comerica Park, he made a great catch, and he fell on his shoulder and separated it.
That was here. That was in April. And that landed him on the DL, actually.
Same type play right there.
Here's the 1-2. To first base. Pinerco will take it himself, and the Tigers go 1-2-3. 3 innings in the books in the nightcap. 3-1 Chicago. Rays. That is your Aflac trivia question. Answer coming up when we get to the bottom of the fourth.
Mark said he had to return 65 text messages and had to return 12 phone calls.
Think he went right to bed after the game last night?
No. He said he and his wife and a couple of other couples went to dinner. He said it was not a whole lot of partying last night. He said that really the whole thing hadn't sunk in when he got to the ballpark today.
Well, here's Paul Konerko to lead it off in the fourth inning. It'll be Konerko, Getz, and then Beckham facing Eddie Bonine.
I guess he and Scott Linebrink must locker close by one another. And Mark Burley was packing after the game and kind of getting ready for the road trip. And Linebrink said, "Dude, how are you packing right now? I can't even pack." And Burley said, "Well, we got a road trip to make."
Well, that was actually, I mean, I know it was a perfect game, but it was his second no-hitter, so it's old hat to him. Big deal. No-hitter, so what?
And they say it could not happen to a better guy.
6 strikeouts for Burley in that game. Phenomenal effort. Bonine missing again. 3-1 now on Paul Konerko.
Well, be careful here if you decide to throw Konerko a fastball. He also hit his 300th career home run here at Comerica Park earlier this year, and he feasts on fastballs.
Missed it high, ball 4, and the leadoff man is on now for Chicago.
Last 3 outs of that perfect game yesterday, and the first one's the biggest one. The catch by Wise in center.
Ramirez finished it off. And the reaction of Mark Burley and his teammates and the whole family getting involved. What a day for Mark Burley. Tigers will not see Burley in this series. Chris Getz hitting with 1 on, nobody out. And that is line foul down the right field line. Getz had an infield single back in the second. He had a spell back in the month of June in which he was 0 for 24. He was able to break out of it, still hitting .265. Getz, the product of Grosse Pointe South High School. Won a state title his junior year. The 0-2 is chopped to the second baseman. Polanco waits on the hop, shovels for 1. Not going to get 2. Getz easily able to beat that out. Tigers have gotten some ground balls tonight. They just haven't been routine double play balls. Or the guys they have gotten have been able to run. Dye did hit into 1 back in the first inning. But Podsednik beat a throw in the third, and now Getz here in the fourth. Here's Gordon Beckham.
Keep Getz close. He likes to run.
Ball low, 1-0.
We've already seen Jim pitch out once in this game. It happened last half inning when Podsednik was on first. And the White Sox apparently very aggressive in this game, the second game of the doubleheader. Much like Detroit was in game 1.
Six hits for the White Sox. Tigers have only 1, and that was the home run by Carlos Guillen. Now 2-0. That is going to hurt. Yikes. Ouch. Beckham hits the deck and he's still down.
I've done this quite a few times. Right off the ankle.
That's a bad spot right there. And you can tell by the reaction of Beckham that it's going to take a while for him to walk this one off.
Herm Schneider, long-time trainer of the White Sox, out taking a look at Beckham. '31st season as the White Sox head athletic trainer. 33rd in Major League Baseball for Herm. Get some high fives. It's not often you see the trainer getting high fives, but he got a few.
The 2-1 pitch is outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Leadoff walk to Konerko. He was forced at second by Getz. 3-1. White Sox lead the nightcap. And a ground ball hit to third sharply. Inge fires to second. There's one. Here comes the relay. And there's 2.
Picking and grinning is in.
Tigers get another double play. Again, 5-4-3. Pitcher to throw a perfect game. And if you guessed David Cone, you're correct. It was with the Yankees back in 1999. We just saw David Cone a couple of days ago throwing in the old-timers game at Yankee Stadium. They consider him an old-timer. Polanco leading it off. He'll be followed by Ordonez and then Cabrera. There's a strike called. 0-2 on Placido. Hit by a pitch and then was picked off by Bartolo Colon, who for the most part has been really good in this one. He gave up the home run to Guillen. That's hit in the air toward right. Dye is on the move. 1 out. Well, we'd like to know who you think today's Tigers player of the game is going to be. You can use your cell phone by texting Tigers followed by space, then the player's uniform number to FSDET. That's 37338. And you can see the final results post-game during Tigers Live. Pick your Tigers player of the game. Let us know who you think it is. Here's Maglio Ordonez, who bounced out back in the first inning. Here's another bounce out. It looks like it at least, and it is. 2 gone.
Well, here's game 1, player of the game. It was Justin Verlander who was sensational today. 85 pitches in the first 5 innings today, only 25 in the next 3. Got his pitch count in order and gave Jim Leland a complete game, giving up 1 run and pitched out of stress in the 9th inning. He's legit.
Here's Cabrera with 2 outs. 3rd complete game for Verlander. And what he was able to do to keep his pitch count in line after a 2nd, 3rd, and 4th innings in which he really faced a lot of batters, threw a lot of pitches, was extremely impressive. At one point retiring 10 straight. Cabrera flied to right field back in the 2nd. One ball, 2 strikes. Colon spent 5.5 years with the Cleveland Indians. And he's an example of a guy that really paid dividends as a trading deadline acquisition. He went to Montreal and went 10-4 with Montreal after he was acquired. That would miss. 2-2. In fact, he won 20 games that year. Was 10-4 with Cleveland. Was traded to Montreal. The deal that brought Cliff Lee and Grady Sizemore to the Indians. And then he won 10 more games over in the National League. 20-game winner that year.
Who do you think got the better end of that deal?
No doubt about that. The Indians. The 2-2 bounce again. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Got a left-handed ace. They got their leadoff man, the Gold Glove center fielder. We've got Brandon Phillips in that deal, who was later dealt away. Here's again waiting on deck. But I guess Montreal got what they wanted in that the deal, and they got a guy that can win them a ton of ball games down the stretch. Three-two pitch. Big rip there by Cabrera as he fouls it off. Miguel flied to right field in the 2nd. And he's hit safely in 18 of his last 19. That's down the right field line. Fair. It'll go to the corner. Extra bases. Cabrera headed to 2nd. 2 out, 2 base hit.
That's one of the things that makes Cabrera so dangerous. It's a 3-2 count. He's not sold out on the fastball because Colon may throw him a breaking ball in this situation. But what he has the ability to do is look for the fastball, breaking ball in the back of the mind. He catches it deep, the ball's up, and he slices it down the right field corner for a double. 2nd double of the day. He had a hustling double in the first game as well. Very seldom do you see big power hitters like Cabrera have the ability to spray the ball all around the ballpark.
Now Guillen, who homered in the 2nd, providing the Tigers' only run. In the air toward left, heading back toward the seats. The home run that he hit in his first at bat was his 3rd career against Colon. And he knew it immediately.
That's that happy zone of the left-handed hitters. Down and in.
5 rehab games in Lakeland. He fared much better in Toledo in a couple of games. He was 4 for 7 with the Mud Hens. And the opener was 1 for 4 and a home run here in the nightcap. Carlos now has hit 11 home runs career against the White Sox. There's only one team that he's hit more against, and that's Kansas City. He's a long ball away here from tying this one up. Cabrera has doubled with 2 outs. Swing and a miss. Colon got him that time. Second strikeout of the game for Bartolo. 4 innings in the books. 3-1 Chicago. The Tigers and Sox in the nightcap. Tigers won the opener, and here in the second game, Rod, at least it's easy to tell this White Sox team is tough to hold down. The Justin Verlander did a great job in game 1, but a couple of home runs tonight here in game 2 for them. Well, they got some guys in the middle of their batting order can hit the ball where the grass doesn't grow. They've done that throughout their illustrious careers. But they also have some guys at the top of the batting order in Podsednik and Ramirez and Getz at the bottom that have tremendous speed. So it's a well-balanced White Sox ball club. Meanwhile, it's good to see Carlos Guillen get his first home run, and he is certainly a guy that they hope can provide some pop down the stretch here. Well, Jim said he was swinging the bat well from the left side down in his minor league rehab starts, and they desperately needed some offense because the ball club had lost 4 of its last 5 games by 1 run. So it's a welcome sight to see Carlos, and more than likely he's going to have to DH for a while because that right arm is not in good throwing shape as we speak. Well, Ramon Castro batting here with 1 out as we play in the 5th, 3-1 in favor of Chicago. First 2 of 4 between these two teams this weekend. Castro had a single in his first at bat. Bonine surrendered the homer to Tomey in the second, and the 2-run shot to Jermaine Dye in the third. Eddie's 2-0 pitch. Good breaking ball for strike 1. I showed you earlier that Bonine is sporting that mohawk. Apparently several of the Mud Hens are wearing mohawks these days to change their fortunes. It must have worked for Bonine. He's here in the big leagues. That'll go foul down the left field line.
It worked for the Tampa Bay Rays last year. They parlayed theirs all the way to the World Series.
I think most of the team had him for the Rays, didn't they?
Even Joe Madden, the manager. The San Francisco Giants have a team full of Mohawks as we speak. And their manager, Bruce Bochy, said if they win 10 straight, he'll get a Mohawk, but he's not all that fond of it because his head is a size 8.
It's a third strikeout for Bona.
He joked about it. He said, can you imagine a Mohawk on this dome?
On a size 8?
Yes.
Why not? It's all in good fun. Did you ever play on a team where they ask you to do something like shave your head or something?
No.
You don't want to do?
No, never any of that.
There's a Mohawk.
Yeah.
Kind of. Podsednik looks at a strike. Reaching on a fielder's choice and scoring on the home run by Dye in the third. Bouncer right back up the middle. Going to get through. Once it got by Bonine, it had enough. 2-out single.
I was talking to several White Sox players before the game, and I was kind of asking who would be the MVP of your team, and I was kind of leading toward Podsednik, and they did not disagree. And you got a team with Dye on it. Of course, you've got Tomey, you got Konerko, you got Burley, but they would not be where they are if not for the contributions of Podsednik the first half of the year. True, legitimate leadoff hitter that puts pressure on the defense.
Here's Ramirez.
Ugh, he might have hurt his back on that swing. That hurt my back.
Lexi not afraid to take a rip, is he? He's stretching it out.
And one of the reasons why he's gotten that batting average up to 281 is he has not been swinging all that much. And like that last swing. It looked like he may have twisted his ankle or something. Needing a little extra time to get himself gathered and ready to take his next swipe.
Close. Podsednik back. They list Ramirez at 6'2", 170. He does look very slender and, as we said, wiry in his uniform. I saw him after the series in Chicago. We're both heading to the bus, and he was in dress clothes, and he looks even skinnier than that. Fouled back out of play, and I had no idea it was him until I looked at him facially and said, "Oh my gosh, that's Alexi Ramirez. He's thin.
He's got some skills, though.
He really does. I mean, he's got a lot of whip action, I guess, with that bat. Terrific bat speed and good power.
He's got a strong throwing arm from the shortstop position. Played second base last year for the White Sox and a little bit in center field, but they allowed Orlando Cabrera to leave as a free agent to open the door for Alexi to play every day at that shortstop position.
Pitch out. He guessed right. Can they complete it? They got him in a rundown. Polanco runs Podsednik back and makes the tag. So they guessed right. And that's all for the White Sox. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Side windows, we can do that. We are the factory. And by BP, help your car run younger for longer. Try BP gasoline with Invigorate. Tigers batting now in the 5th inning. Thames, Inge, and Santiago facing the right-hander Bartolo Colon. And a bouncing ball back up the middle and through. They had him played to pull up the middle. And Thames has a leadoff single.
Sort of beat the shift. Alexi Ramirez was playing in that shortstop hole, where Marcus hits the majority of his ground balls, and he whistled that one right past the slender shortstop.
Here's Brandon Inge. Tigers have their 3rd hit of the game. Brandon 0 for 1 with a fly ball. We were talking earlier about how the White Sox have not been a very good defensive team. They have a ton of errors this year. 3 in the first game, 71 for the year. Only one team has committed more. And Cologne has allowed 13 unearned runs this season, the most in the American League. So the defense at times has not been very good behind him.
Well, Beckham's got 9 of those errors, and he's playing a new position. He was a shortstop in college, shortstop in the minor leagues. They called him to the big leagues and put him at third base. So he is still learning on the job down there.
2-0 on Brandon.
Alexi Ramirez has 11 errors at the shortstop position. But they both have a wealth of talent.
Cologne already has 1 pick in this game. He picked off Polanco in the 1st. Ground ball left side, base hit. Couple of singles to start things off here in the 5th inning. Time runs are on.
More than likely, Santiago will be up there sacrificing the runners along the 2nd and 3rd. It's a possibility, and a good possibility. Santiago tried to bunt for a base hit his first time up. He wasn't very patient, and he buttoned the ball right back to Bartolo Colon. Colon threw him out easily. And the White Sox are expecting a bunt on the infield.
Runner's going, and it's hit in the air toward left. Now they're going to have to turn the Jets on and get back, but Sednick will make the catch. 1 out. So they started the runners instead. Perhaps the thinking there was because Ryan is coming up. They wanted to give Santiago a shot.
Or trying to trick the opposition, one of the two.
Dusty is 2 for 17 as he digs in now. He struck out back in the 3rd. Back up the middle into center, base hit. Thames rounding 3rd. They're going to send it home. Here comes Marcus to the plate. He is safe.
Really? He dropped it.
He dropped the baseball, otherwise he was out at home. Wise with a strong throw to the plate. Marcus is safe.
Wise has done everything in the last couple of days. He charges this ball, he gets rid of it, he fires a strike. I mean a strike to Castro, and Castro, after reaching back to try to tag Marcus Thames, did not have the ball when he went to tag him. He never caught it cleanly. It was right in the webbing and fell to the ground. What a throw by Wise.
3-2 ball game now. Give Ryan an RBI. Runners at 1st and 2nd, 1 out. Here's Granderson. Wise is having some kind of stretcher defensively.
Well, we talked about it after he made that sensational play off the bat of Granderson in the 1st inning. That's the only way you stay in the big leagues, hitting the buckets and change. He's close to 200 those wise, batting average wise. But if you play defensively like that, they'll find ways to get you on the field.
Granderson is 0 for 2. Tigers now have 5 hits. They got a run in the second, one more here in the 5th, and Dusty Ryan, the number 9 hitter, comes through. Two and one. Granderson has hit safely in his last 5. He had a hit in the opener. Tigers won today by a score of 5-1 behind Justin Verlander. His 11th win. Back out of play. 2-2 on Curtis.
That's kind of JV's seat right there. He kind of sits right there every game. I don't know if I like him sitting that close to the action though.
He was sitting there in the All-Star game too.
I like to see him protected behind the screen. Both of them.
It's comfortable there though, because you can kind of lean into that wedge there.
He can't get out of the ball the way he's chilling though.
Good block at home plate, 3-2. Full count. Polanco waiting on deck. Here comes the crowd. Good crowd here tonight. Not too many seats to be had.
Go ahead and start him. But Dusty needs to get a good jump off first. Cologne not a strikeout pitcher.
The runners go, and it's grounded foul.
I like that decision.
Cleveland's team stole 3 bases in the first game. They had a sac fly. They had a squeeze. Going again, and there's ball 4, and that is going to load the bases.
Well, we've well documented the fact you have a couple of center fielders in this game that have made outstanding catches this year. Granderson's catch came May 8th. It helped Verlander pitch a shutout against Cleveland. Yesterday, Wise helped Burley pitch a perfect game. No doubt, due to the circumstances, Wise's catch is a little bit better than Granderson's, but you have a couple of guys that are really covering some real estate in the outfield.
Don Cooper is out now to have a chat with Bartolo Colon. The bases are loaded with Tigers here in a 3-2 ball game. The Tigers are going to have their number 2 hitter coming up as well. So there is activity in the bullpen. Tony Pena is warming up. Polanco hit by a pitch and a fly ball. Tigers have 6 grand slams this year. So do the White Sox. So they are tied for the American League lead. Back up the middle, and Ramirez with a great play flips the second one. No relay, and a run will score as Inge comes in. Alexi Ramirez saving a run there.
Ramirez with tremendous range to his glove side, and he gets over and dives and shuffles the ball to get the 1 out. They were not going to get 2, but what range by Ramirez. He had a tough time getting that ball in his glove, and he got it out just in time.
It's a 3rd RBI in the doubleheader now for Polanco.
Ooh, that buckled Brian Gorman.
Tigers scored 2 here in the 5th. They have tied it up again. Runners at first and third. Ryan and Polanco. Maglio has hit the ball on the ground twice, 0 for 2. Rick Knapp on the telephone. One ball, one strike. See if this one finds the seats. Konerko gets there right against the tarp and makes the catch. That'll retire the side. Not before the Tigers, though. Tie it up. They get a couple of runs. It's now 3-3.
On the FoxSports.com, on MSN, and join the next generation of fantasy football.
Well, the Tigers have battled back here to tie this one up. 3-3 is our score. Bonine back to the hill, and he'll face Alexi Ramirez and then Jermaine Dye and Jim Thome. 2, 3, and 4. Tigers have been out hit 7-5. Sixth inning is underway. Ball up high to Alexi Ramirez. There's a strike right at the knees, 1-1. White Sox have turned in a couple of terrific defensive plays tonight. One by Wise and one by Ramirez. The one by Alexi perhaps kept the Tigers from taking the lead. He goes fishing there. 1-2. Ramirez 1 for 6 in the doubleheader so far. And he pulls that one in the air toward left field for Marcus Thames. One out. Now Jermaine Dye. Jermaine, a 2-run shot in the third. Strike one. No balls, 2 strikes.
That's what Dye did back in the third. A laser in the left for a 2-run shot.
It was number 21, or make it number 22 on the season for Dye. Came in with 21. And 27 overall against the Tigers in his career. There's some action going in the Tigers' pen. That would be Zach Miner beginning to tune up. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Bonine got him that time. 2 gone. His 4th strikeout.
Pretty good depth with the breaking ball and in a really nice location. Down and away from Dye, even with the long arms and long bat. Couldn't reach it.
The Jim Thome shift defensively being employed now as Thome steps in with 2 outs. Ball 1. 558 career home runs for Thome. And he has walked a ton in his career. In fact, over 1,600 times. He recently passed former Tiger Darrell Evans for 11th all-time in base on balls.
Pretty good chance of Thome going to the Hall of Fame when he's all said and done.
I think so.
Real good shot.
Certainly has a chance to get to 600 home runs. Three and 1. Bonine's only other appearance against the White Sox this year was in relief before he was sent down earlier this year. And he has lost Thome with a 2-out walk. That's his 2nd walk. And that'll bring up Paul Konerko. Konerko had the other walk. That was back in the 4th. Konerko already has knocked in more this year than he did all of last season. Although he didn't play a full season last year. Hits this one on the ground as second as he played for Polanco. And Bonine gets through the 6th inning. No runs, a walk, 1 left. We go to the bottom half. Tied at 3.
He robbed Granderson of a triple. A couple of outstanding plays by Wines in the last couple of days. Coors Light Freeze Can brought to you by your Frost Brewed Coors Light.
So we go to the bottom of the 6th in a 3-3 game. Bartolo Colon back to work, and he's facing Miguel Cabrera, Carlos Guillen, and Marcus Thames. It's been an entertaining 2 games here today. Doubleheader. The Tigers won the first, and they're all locked up here in the second. Chopper hit to third, charging the ball. Beckham.
Due to the circumstances of that catch, do you think it's one that we will see for a long time?
Oh, certainly.
I mean, for years.
Yeah, if he makes it in a nondescript, I don't know, 7-2 game, probably not. But because of when he did it, sure, no question.
When you think of all the games that have been started by major league pitchers in over 100 years, there's only been 18 perfect games.
Here's Carlos Guillen.
Actually, Mark Burley was joking about that earlier today. He said Paul Konerko had his calculator out last night trying to see how many starting games there had been over the years, just to see how special that moment was yesterday. He said Konerko's a numbers freak.
Is he really?
That's what he said.
He's going to need a calculator to try and figure that out. 0-2. Burley with a no-hitter and a perfect game under his belt. Pierzynski caught the no-hitter. Castro caught the perfect game yesterday. One ball, 2 strikes on Carlos Guillen.
And since Carlos went deep, his first time up today on a pitch down and in, Colon pretty much has stayed away from Carlos. And he's going to make him beat him to left field the next time around. Oh, he wants to go in there.
2-2. He can run it full at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Carlos Guillen has made 3 All-Star teams as a Tiger. And it is nice to see him back in the big leagues.
A couple of years ago, he hit 21 home runs, his high water mark in his career. That was the only season in which he knocked in over 100.
He's been a team player, too. He has gone from shortstop to first base to third base to left field.
Whistled into right. His second hit in this game.
Hey fans, tomorrow the Tigers take on the White Sox at 4:05 as part of Going Green weekend. The first 10,000 fans receive a reusable Tiger shopping bag. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
Go ahead run is on here in the 6th. Marcus Thames 1 for 2, singled and scored his last time up. That was in the 2-run 5th inning. Pull to the shortstop. Ramirez fires to second 1. Gets with a relay, and that is a double play. 6-4, 3-side retired. We're on our way to the 7th inning in a 3-3 game. There's a stepdad in attendance watching him pitch. A pretty good ball game. Gave up 3 runs through 6 innings, and stepdad had to be proud tonight.
Kept his team in the game. Gave up 3 runs. Kept the ball out of the center of the strike zone for the most part. He did get bit by a couple of home runs by Dye and Tomey, but those guys have gotten a lot of people in their careers. But Jim Leland and his team could not have asked for more out of Eddie Bodine here tonight. 81 total pitches.
Wellside Windows pitching change. Entering the game is lefty Bobby C.
Bobby's been good this year. In the last couple of times he's gone out there, he's given up home runs. But other than that, you look at the numbers, they are tremendous.
Chris Getz leads it off. Clay Thomas has entered the ball game as well. He's playing left field, so put him in Marcus Thames' old spot. That would be 6th in the lineup. 7th inning of a 3-3 game, the nightcap in the doubleheader. Right back up the middle. He'll get through. Base hit. Getz has his 2nd hit of the day. Or night, I should say. He also had a base hit in the first game. So 3 for the doubleheader for Chris Getz. That'll bring up Gordon Beckham. See if anything's brewing here for Chicago. With some speed at first base. Beckham with a perfect hit and run single back in the 2nd. Ball 1. Two 2-0 on Beckham. White Sox this year have only 19 sacrifices. 10th in the American League. That's not part of their game. And a couple of opponents on this homestand that play it differently. Seattle, team that just left here, led the league in sacrifices. They don't have nearly the power, though, this White Sox team has. There's a strike on the outer edge, 2-1.
Well located 2-0 fastball. Not a whole lot Beckham could do with that pitch. Really fascinating how fast Beckham has gotten to the big leagues. This time last year, he was playing shortstop for University of Georgia.
Well, he hit 400, in fact 411 as a junior at Georgia. Was their #1 pick, 8th overall last year, and it didn't take him long.
Usually you see pitchers get to the big leagues rather quickly. Usually position players need at least 500 at bats in the minor leagues before they really become good players. But he's showing why he was the #1 draft choice.
C now has run the count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
And by running the count full, it allows Getz to take off from first base, if that's what Ozzie Guillen chooses to do. Getz will not be trying to steal the base. He'll simply be trying to stay out of a double play if he's off and running.
Runner goes, and it's outside. Ball 4. So now a single and a walk, providing some trouble here for the Tigers in the 7th inning. Time for our Cabot Woodstain's legendary performance tonight. It's a game that I remember quite vividly because it was so fast. And it featured Paul Bird. It featured Jose Lima. On this date in baseball history on July 24th of '02, the Tigers defeated the Royals 3-0. in a game that lasted 1 hour and 41 minutes.
You broadcast this game, didn't you?
I did. And I couldn't believe how quickly I got home. Lima beat Bird, and at this time, it was over by now. 1 hour and 41 minutes. Tonight we're in the 7th inning.
Well, you talked about this team doesn't bunt very often, but we may see Wise attempt to bunt here.
He's had 3 sacrifices. He lays one down, and Ryan will throw him out. Sacrifice number 4 for Wise. So 2 men in scoring position for their number 9 hitter, Ramon Castro. Castro is 1 for 2, single and a strikeout. Infield coming in a couple of steps. Ball 1 from C. Bobby takes a tour around the mound, as he does typically after every pitch. That's his routine. But outside, 2-0.
Bobby thought that was a strike. He thought that ball caught the outside corner.
You can tell when he disagrees with the call. The stroll around the mound becomes a little bit longer and slower.
He gave Brian Gorman a nice long look as well.
2-0 pitch. There's a strike on the outer edge. 2-1. Tigers tonight have been out hit 8-6. Sox have Getz at third. They have Beckham at second. Fouled away. 2-2. And we've got Podsednik waiting on deck. Castro has 6 RBIs. Lyon is ready to go if and when he's needed. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Down he goes. Castro is out. 2 gone. Bobby has his first strikeout. A chance to pitch out of this mess.
I like the way that he attacked Castro. He was not going to give in to him. Everything was pretty much off the plate, outside or on that corner. Finally, getting him to swing and miss on the 2-strike breaking ball.
So Ryan and C want to talk this over now with Podsednik up there. Single and a run scored for Podsednik. Ball 1. It really is odd to watch a big league hitter take 2 shuffle steps toward the pitcher as he gets ready to swing. Not that time. A wave and a miss. 1-1. The White Sox with Podsednik hitting leadoff are 35-26. Knocked in 26 runs. He's hitting over 300. 1-2. +39,000 trying to make some noise now. Trying to get Bobby to pitch out of his jam. Swing and a miss, he does just that. And Podsednik rifles the bat and the helmet. He was upset at home plate umpire Brian Gorman, and he leaves 2. The Tigers.com. Whole lots of stuff there. Clubhouse caps, t-shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts, and a whole lot more. Tigers.com shop. Check it out today. Get all your Tigers gear. First pitch to Brandon Inge. Just hit a ton to right center field, but there's too much room out there, and Jermaine Dye runs it down. One pitch, one out. Brandon is gone. He's 1 for 3 here in the nightcap. He's going to bring up Santiago. Bobby C. did a nice job of pitching through that trouble. Single and a walk to start the 7th, but kept the Sox off the board. Still tied at 3. Santiago is 0 for 2 in this game. Strike 1. Time earlier in Colon's career where he would throw 95, 96, and he would be throwing that hard late into games. Line breaking Thornton warming up. And Colon now 36 years of age. The White Sox signed him as a free agent this past January. He pitched with Boston last year. And he hit him. Santiago will go to first base.
Let's go back to that huge strikeout of Bobby C. against Scott Podsednik to end the 7th inning for the White Sox. Start bell tire pitch by pitch. Moving in the batter's box on ball 1. Then he swings through a fastball. Now guessing breaking ball, takes a fastball right down the middle and upset with himself. Swings at a ball out of the strike zone for strike 3. Bobby pitches himself out of a jam.
The Confab on the mound now with Ryan due up here. 1 on and 1 out. Colon has hit 2 batters tonight. He also hit Polanco back in the 1st inning. Dusty, meanwhile, cashed in with a clutch RBI single in the 5th inning. That was the frame in which the Tigers tied it up with 2 in the 5th. Santiago has not stolen a base this year, 0 for 2. Dusty Ryan with a couple of RBIs, now 3 for 18 here at the big league level. Laird caught the first game, Ryan here in the nightcap. Oh, 2. We're talking about Dusty's numbers down at AAA before the call-up. He did have 7 home runs at 46 games with Toledo, knocked in 23. Here's the 0-2. Ground ball towards second base. They'll flip the second one, and Ramirez is going to turn. Another White Sox double play. That one goes 4-6-3. We're headed to the 8th.
For the Tigers AA affiliate, and boy has he had himself a night-to-night 2 3-run home runs. And you take a look at his numbers this year, 281 with 10 home runs and 52 driven in. Those are outstanding numbers for a catcher, and many believe he has a legitimate shot of catching in the major leagues at some point in time.
Al's pretty embarrassed right now.
It's all good.
He's got to be really proud.
He's a proud dad, no question. You know, he doesn't brag a whole lot about his son. I mean, you have to really ask him how Alex is doing before he will give you any information, which is a good thing.
Here's Alexi Ramirez as we go to the 8th inning, and Brandon Lyon is the new pitcher. It's a 3-3 ball game. These two teams locked up in a dandy here in the nightcap.
They took him in the 5th round. Was it a couple of years ago?
2 years ago, yeah.
2 years ago.
Checked it up high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Ramirez 1 for 3. Singled back in the first inning. Lions 1-1. On the ground at third. Inge. One gone.
Here was Al's reaction to the graphic that we put up. He's embarrassed.
That is classic. Proud papa. His son has had himself a night down in the minor leagues. There's Jermaine Dye. Ball one. Dye, a 2-run shot back in the third. That gave the White Sox a 3-1 lead before the Tigers tied it up in the fifth.
These White Sox really have not seen Lyons since he really started throwing that tremendous cut fastball, which has allowed his numbers to go down drastically this year. There it is. It's wicked. Wicked pitch. It's at 88 miles an hour, but it's the late life which allows it to be such a good pitch for him. That thing acts like a slider.
High fly ball center field. Granderson is there. 2 gone.
But I'm sure they've had a chance to watch Lyon on video, and they know that he's throwing that pitch. But until you stand 60 feet 6 inches from the pitcher and you get a true look at the pitch, you do not know how it's reacting.
Here's Jim Thome. Home run back in the second. Eddie Bonine started this game, went 6 innings, allowing 3 runs. Turn things over to Bobby C., who pitched through the 7th, around a little bit of trouble. And now Lyon here in the 8th. 0-2. Feinberg now is all alone in their bullpen. Lefty's batting just .206 versus Brandon Lyon. This lefty has some power. Lots of it. The 1-2. It looked like he went, and he did. Strike 3 and a 1-2-3 inning for Brandon Lyon. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. standing the test of time since 1849. And by Beaumont Hospitals, do you have a Beaumont doctor? Fireworks will be on display after the game here tonight. Don't worry, they're not going off right now. This is on tape. 39,000 plus will be watching the fireworks after this one tonight. Scott Linebrink is on right now for Chicago.
Good numbers for Linebrink. He has a 2.38 earned run average, but he's got 34 strikeouts in 34 innings against 13 walks. So he's around the plate. He too has a forkball that he throws.
Anderson leads it off in the bottom of the 8th inning, top of the order. Granderson, Polanco, and Ordonez. Curtis tonight has been on base once, a walk. The 1-1. Linebrink is from Austin, Texas, lives in Taylor, Texas. Originally a second-round pick of the San Francisco Giants back in the late 90s, and he's just gotten Granderson looking at strike 3, 1 out.
He carved him up pretty good. Those last 2 fastballs were well located.
Now Polanco. Breaking ball high. Placido knocked in a run with a fielder's choice grounder in the 5th inning. That tied the game at 3, and it looked like it might get through. If it did get through, it would have gotten another run in. There's a base hit just out of reach of Alexi Ramirez, who threw his body at it. 1 on, 1 out.
I thought he was going to catch that ball. Hey fans, after a couple of national telecasts, our crew will be back on Monday when the Tigers begin a 3-game series on the road against the Texas Rangers. Coverage begins at 7:30 with Tigers Live, Tigers Baseball, presented by Bell Tire, Monday night on Fox Sports Detroit and in high def on Fox Sports HD.
Is that Jim Leland in the crowd? There's strike 1 on Ordonez. That guy was the spitting image of the Tiger skipper. He's got the sunglasses and everything.
He's got the look.
The 1 pitch is swung on and missed. 0-2. Now the 0-2 to Maglio is fouled back out of play. This is screaming for a split screen. It's just screaming for. There it is. There it is. The skipper and his lookalike. It must be bright out there. Wearing the sunglasses at night.
Looks like he's been to the team shop too.
The 0-2 is fouled away again. Go for 3 for Maglio. He's hit the ball on the ground twice and popped up once. Linebrink misses 1 and 2. Go ahead run at first base with 1 out. Polanco has singled here in the 8th. Placido not far off the bag is chased by Linebrink. Spent a lot of years in San Diego and a lot of good years. Thornton warming up. He had 3 straight years of better than 70 appearances in their bullpen as Rodney starts heating up for the Tides. 2-2 on Maglio. Ordonez came into this doubleheader, 322 career against the White Sox. And he pulls this one fair inside the bag at third. Polanco rounding the bag at second. He's coming to third. They're going to hold him there. It's a double for Maglio, and the Tigers are in business here in the eighth.
Nice piece of hitting here by Maglio. Something at the top of the strike zone. He hit it down on the label, which meant he did not hit it all that hard. Beckham dove for it, could not get there, and the Tigers have a golden opportunity of taking the lead in this game. Polanco scampering to third before being held up at third.
And the Leland lookalike likes it. Second and third, 1 out, and now you've got your cleanup man Cabrera, who's going to be given the pass. That's okay because Guillen's on deck, and he's had a good night.
They're probably going to turn Guillen around to the right side, though. Knowing Ozzie Guillen, they've got Thornton hot in that bullpen. This is what he has done on so many occasions regarding Carlos Guillen the last 3 years. To turn him around to bat right-handed.
All 3 missing outside and 1 more, and Cabrera will give up his bat.
Jim Leland told me that Carlos, as a matter of fact, not swinging the bat all that well from the right side. He hit left-handed against a left-handed pitcher in the minor leagues.
Which he may end up doing here, we'll see. He has had some pain swinging right-handed.
They're talking about it right now. He may pinch hit for him. Looks like he's going to pinch hit for him.
Linebrink gives up the baseball, and so the wheels are a-turning here in the eighth. The Tigers have them loaded. We'll be back to Comerica Park.
Ozzie Guillen's lips are moving awfully fast after the intentional walk to Cabrera. He was jawing at him as Cabrera walked down the first baseline. I do not know what that was all about, but I do know this much. Ozzie has a tremendous amount of respect for Cabrera because he had a chance to watch him up close and personal back in '03 when Ozzie was a coach for the Florida Marlins and Cabrera was a rookie on that squad.
I didn't pick up all of that, but I picked up some of it.
Which part did you pick
I'm
up?
not going to tell you what I picked up.
I picked that same part up.
Matt Thornton now will come on.
Well,
leave it to Ozzie.
Well, Ginn unable to swing right-handed. At least pain-free, so Leland counters the move with Ryan Rayburn.
All right, bases loaded here in a 3-3 game. We're in the 8th with only one out. It's up to Rayburn now in a pinch hitting role. Thornton, the big left-hander. And the foul back out of play as Rayburn takes a rip at a 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
Big Thornton just getting loose. Tigers have been a good team this year with the bases loaded.
Tigers looking for their first lead of the night. That's high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Line break start of the inning. Single, double, intentional walk to load the bases. Rally cap's going. Fouled it all. 1-2.
Tough to catch up to that fastball that's belt buckle or higher at the velocity that Thornton is throwing at. It's not an easy thing to do because he throws so hard, but you have to keep your head down and set your sights low in the strike zone to try to prevent yourself from swinging at that elevated piece of cheese.
He laid off that. That would look like he thought about it. 96 again from Thornton. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ryan Rayburn this year has had some big hits for the Tigers. Hit a grand slam against Oakland. A walk-off against the Cubs. He had a stretch of 3 straight games with homers. And he rolls that one foul. Cleveland has decided to go with Rayburn here with the lefty coming on, Thornton. Thornton has 3 wild pitches. Polanco is the go-ahead run at third. Crowd making some noise now with a 2-2 count. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Rayburn is out of there, and a big, big strikeout for Thornton. Going to leave it up to Cleet Thomas.
Good old country hardball, fastball right down the middle. And now Cleet getting his first at bat of the game. He came in as a defensive replacement last half inning for Marcus Thames. He's really going to have to cut his swing down to get a piece of this fastball that Thornton's featuring.
Ball 1.
Nice job of laying off that pitch. There are certain pitchers that have the kind of stuff that they can pitch up in the strike zone and get you out, get you to swing and miss. Thornton's one of those guys.
Thames was in this spot, lifted for Thomas as a defensive replacement. Two and 1. Cleat 4 for 7 career with the bases loaded. 3 for 4 this year. And that misses. Now it's 3 and 1.
Easy for me to say, but I would think about taking one here.
39,375 on their feet right now. 3-1 on Cleat Thomas. Strike call. 3-2.
He's got to come back with the same pitch. And if you're Cleat, you have a pretty good idea of just how quickly that ball is getting on top of you, because you've gotten 5 straight fastballs, all anywhere from 95 to 96 miles an hour.
Fouled it off. Thomas against Thornton. Bases loaded with Tigers here in the 8th. He looks pretty calm, despite what's going on in the field right now. Again, the 3-2. He lost him. Ball 4. It's a bases loaded walk for Cleat Thomas, and the Tigers take the lead. Polanco scores. 4-3 Detroit. Thornton is coming out of the game. Pitching change here at Comerica Park. The Tigers have taken a 4-3 lead. Will step aside with 2 outs and the base is still loaded. Texting for the player of the game, Miguel Cabrera leads it right now at 49%, followed by Brandon Inge and Curtis Granderson. Final results on Tigers Live once this one is over. Thornton walks Cleat Thomas on a 3-2 pitch to give the Tigers the lead. And he'll give way to Tony Pena.
He's only been in 4 games since they got him from the Arizona Diamondbacks, and his last outing he gave up 4 runs, and that's why the earned run average is over 13 for Tony Pena.
He will face Brandon Inge with the bases loaded.
Another 1 or 2 would be lovely.
Brandon tonight 1 for 3 with a single, and he takes ball 1. Each team with 8 hits. Rounded foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tigers still have him loaded here. They've got Maglio down at third base. Cabrera is at second, and Thomas, the man of the hour right now, with the bases loaded, walk at first. That is popped up. Right side of the infield for Konerko. And that is that for the Tigers. They're going to leave them loaded, but they take the lead. We'll go to the ninth. Fernando Rodney will try and put this one in the win column. Tigers on top 4-3 as we go to the top of the ninth inning. Carlos Guillen, his first home run since August of 2008. First home run, obviously, just coming back off the DL. Jermaine Dye, 2-run shot in the third. Big day for Polanco. Had 3 hits in the first game of the doubleheader. He's 4 for 6 total with 3 RBIs. And Fernando Rodney looking for save number 21.
And that would be lovely because that would be a Tigers win. He's been awfully good in save situations. 35 strikeouts in 40 innings pitched against 19 walks, and the opponents are hitting .230 against Fernando.
Tied for 7th in the American League with his 20 saves. He will face Konerko, Getz, and Beckham.
Konerko, very smart hitter. And he knows that he's going to get a changeup or 2 from Rodney. And he'll sit on it. So Rodney must get it down. You can tell by the way that he took that first pitch. That wasn't a fastball take. That was a breaking ball take.
.417 career against Rodney, 5 for 12. Fastball away, 2-0. Konerko tonight is 0 for 2 with a walk. There's a strike. Two and one. Ryan wants the changeup. There it is for strike 2. 2-2 on Konerko. Through the fastball that time. Now it goes full 98 miles an hour. 3-2.
Do not want to walk him because you know Ozzie Guillen more than likely will go to his bench and bring someone in to pinch run for Konerko, who's a little bit faster.
Swing and a miss. Got him on strikes. One out.
He's got the swing and miss changeup, and he can make it dance to the left. He can make it dance to the right. That pitch almost acts like a slider coming from the right-handed Fernando Rodney. Big out to get Konerko.
Chris Getz, strike one. Oh, and 2 on Chris Getz. Tigers pitching tonight has rolled up 8 strikeouts. 4 of them by the relievers. Getz 2 for 3, both singles. One and 2. Rodney touching 99 there. Swing and a miss. 2 gone. Fernando has fanned Konerko and now Getz. 1 more out to get. And it's Gordon Beckham.
That change piece. Mercy. $39,375 for the nightcap here. And strike 1 on Gordon Beckham. Tigers 2 strikes away from a doubleheader sweep. Beckham has been on base twice, single and a walk. Right back to the mound. This will do it. Tigers sweep. A 1-2-3 ninth inning for Fernando Rodney. Save number 21. And you got to go back to 0-2 for the last time.